previous classes, we were discussing about the characteristics, speed torque characteristics. That is the unbalanced load supply. What happens to our road induction motor when we are going to supply with the unbalanced supply and the non-sinusoidal supply, and what is the rotor impedance technologies, and finally the starting methods. So why we need to go for the starting? That is, at the time of starting, what happens? The induction motor may having the maybe drawing high amount of current and high amount of torque. So in order to protect our machine from these high amount of current or torque or voltage, we need to start smoothly. So for that purpose, we are going to for starting. So different methods of starting that we have witnessed, and today we are going to for braking. So the main necessary of braking, why we need to go for braking, and what are the different kinds of braking are there in our methods that we can see. So here the first thing is regenerative braking. So starting and braking. So as usual, the name itself indicates braking is nothing but a limiting of speed, a limiting of torque, a limit of torque or limit of speed that we are going to control. That's the main, we can call it as a braking. So the motoring actions and the braking actions that we people are studying in a first unit. So what is mean by motoring and what is mean by braking? So that we are studied. So here the first thing is regenerative braking. So what is mean by regenerative braking? So first and foremost thing, let's consider the input power. The motor input power will be given by VI cos phi. So if we are going to consider for a three-phase induction motor, so we can consider as a 3 VI cos phi. So here IS is the input current, and phi s is the stator rotor angle. So if the rotor speed becomes the greater than the synchronous relative speed. So what happens? So what happens when the rotor speed is greater than the synchronous speed, and what happens when the rotor speed is less than the synchronous speed? So when actually the rotor speed will be increases more than the synchronous speed. So when there is a relative speed between the rotor conductors and air gap rotating field reverses. So kind of a relative speed, the speed which is acting between the rotor field, the rotor conductors. Because of the continuous flow of current in the rotor conductor, what happens? A rotating field will be generated. So this rotating field and the air gap rotating field. So the normal rotating field and the air gap rotating field reverses. So when this reverses, automatically the rotor current increases. So the rotor field is going to increase. So this rotor field increases the rotor speed. So how actually the speed is generated? That is whenever a current is flowing through a circuit because of the mutual flux. So dynamically mutually induced EMF. So this dynamically induced EMF creates a flux around the conductors. So because of this Faraday's law, so because of the principles of Faraday's law, the rotating field creates the rotating flux. So this flux with the help of a neighboring field creates a speed. So this field makes the rotor into rotate continuously with some speed. So this speed, that is this rotor speed, which is greater than the synchronous speed, creates, so this makes the air gap flux reverses. So this is the point. And this reverse rotor induced EMF, rotor current and component of stator current. So this reverses. So what the air gap rotating field is reverses now. This automatically reverses the rotor induced EMF. So whenever a flux is coordinated, so flux is nothing but a mutual link between the one circuit and another circuit. So just like you again even a train bogies iratala, so a train bogies one bogie to another bogie and then on the through lock in the attach ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. So same like that here the flux interlocks between the two fields. So here that field reverses automatically. Here the EMF is also which induced on the motor is also reverses. So this leads to the angle phi s. So what happens? This leads to the angle phi s becomes greater than the 90 degree, and power flow reverses, and power flow this reverses the leads to regenerative braking. So what is meant by regenerative braking here? The exact opposite of motoring. So whenever the stator angle, that is the phi s, is greater than the 90 degree, automatically what happens? Because of the reverses of the rotor field, here the power flow also reverses. The power flow also reverses, and this reversing the power flow leads to the regenerative braking. So normally the regenerative braking principle will be mainly used in your traction systems. So traction. So different AC or DC traction system. So traction is nothing but locomotives which are running through the help of DC supply. So the traction normally you can use a metro or your normally AC trains. So the trains runs through your DC supply. So in day-to-day ನೋಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ, so these kind of traction, that is the locomotives uses a braking system. So that is nothing but regenerative braking system. So I hope you people understood what is meant by regenerative braking and how it happens. So the next thing is the magnetizing current. So the magnetizing current which is required to produce the air gap flux is obtained from the sources. The source which we are giving to the supply. So from these sources we can get the magnetizing current. So this magnetizing current reverses the air gap flux produced. So here the regenerative, the motto of the regenerative is reversing of air gap flux. So reversing of air gap flux is nothing but reversing of field. So reversing field is nothing but opposing the actual happening movement. Opposing the actual happening movement. So that is nothing but opposing. So here the opposing or the reversing of air gap flux. So that is the main motto in regenerative braking. And here the generated power is usefully employed. So whatever the amount of power that we are generated with the help of reversing the fields, reversing the flux. So by reversing the flux we generated some amount of power. So that power is nothing but action which is opposing to our real-time action, real-time movement. So when it is fed from a constant frequency sources, so when it is employed, so what happens when it is fed from the constant frequency sources? So these constant frequency sources leads to generate the constant speed. So that speed is nothing but a synchronous speed. So here the synchronous speed should be the less than the rotor speed, the rotor speed. So whenever the speed which generated is less than the rotor speed, so automatically the regenerative actions takes place. So the constant frequency and the magnetizing current which are all required are fed from the sources. So here we can go for the characteristics, the speed torque characteristics. Here it is the speed torque characteristics. So this x-axis gives a frequency, so gives the torque, and the y-axis gives the speed, the motor speed. So during positive cycle or during a first quadrant action, the normally takes place are motoring action. So you people study the 4 quadrant operations: motoring, braking, positive motoring, reverse motoring, positive braking, and reverse braking. So different quadrant operations. So in that, from that operations, in that quadrant operations, we draw on the characteristics. So this gives the motoring action. So exact opposite. So exact opposite, that is this omega ms. So omega ms is nothing but the synchronous speed. So whenever the rotor field is greater than the synchronous speed, so whenever the rotor speed is greater than the synchronous speed, the regenerative actions takes place. So this is the speed torque characteristics of regenerative braking. So what is meant by regenerative braking? So in the regenerative braking, whenever the rotor field is greater than the synchronous speed, rotor speed is greater than synchronous speed, that actions takes place. So here we are just reversing the rotor field. So nothing but we are just reversing the air gap flux produced. So by reversing the air gap flux produced, we are going to generate the opposite power, the other kind of power. So this power that we are generated using the opposing the field, so this leads into the motoring action. This leads to the opposing of motoring action. So that is nothing but regenerative braking and the main applications. So here the main applications of regenerative braking is using in locomotives, that is in tractions. So that's used in AC tractions. So this is about regenerative braking. And the next thing is reverse voltage braking. So as name itself indicates, we are just reversing the polarity of voltages. So this reversing of polarity of voltage is called as plugging. So these are most useful and most used applications. So here we are just reversing the phase sequence of the supply. So just we are replacing the phase sequence of operations. So with respect to the supply terminals. So in the supply terminals, we are just replacing the phase sequences. So by reversing the phase sequence, what happens? The rotation of the motor is reverses. So if it is rotating in the clockwise direction, it changes its direction into anti-clockwise, or if it is rotating in the anti-clockwise, it changes the rotation into clockwise. So by interchanging, so this shifts, the operation shifts from motoring to plugging. So here the plugging characteristics or extension of motor characteristics. The extension of motor characteristics, and for negative phase sequence from third quadrant to second quadrant. So you will study now in the first unit, first module, the different 4 quadrant operations. So here the plugging or the reversing of voltage, what happens here? We are just bringing the actions from third quadrant to first quadrant, third quadrant operation to first quadrant operation. And here the reverse of phase sequence reverses the direction of rotating field. So you people observed in your motor labs that just by we can interchange the phase sequences. So by interchanging the phase sequences, the rotation of the direction of the rotation of the motor will be changes. And this rotor induced voltage can be twice of its value at zero speed. So what happens? Whenever at a standstill, the zero speed is nothing but standstill. That is, just we are energizing the motor. Just we are giving the supply to the motor. So at that particular point, that is at zero speed. So what happens? The rotor induced voltages will be twice the value of the voltages at zero speed. And in wound water, there are two kind of motors, that is squirrel cage motors and wound top motors. So in the wound type motors, what happens? The resistance is equal to the twice the starter resistance, which is inserted into the rotor. So the resistance at the time of starting, which is inserted into the rotor, it should be twice the value of that rotor wound resistance. So here the rotor wound resistance, the wound rotor motor resistance, it should be the twice the value of the resistances which are included at the time of starter in rotor. So why we need to go for this procedure? We need to go for this procedure. That is which procedure? Inserting the value of resistance twice the value of that rotor resistance, in order to limit the braking current, mainly for limiting the braking current we have to follow this procedure. We have to balance the resistance value. So here the torque which is produced now, it should not be equal to, it should not be 0 at 0 speed. So there should be some value of torque. So you people can observe this in characteristics here. So in these characteristics, so what I told, so at 0 speed the torque should not be 0. So at 0 speed the torque is not 0 here. The torque is some value, it has some values. So here also, so the fourth quadrant operation. So is the same thing with the help of external resistance. So we are going for external resistance method, and here is the plugging of fourth quadrant with the large external resistance. So here the torque which should not be 0 at 0 speed, and with the help of some additional devices. So we required some additional devices. So to detect the 0 speed, and detect the motor from the supply. In order to detect the 0 speed and also to remove the motor from the supply, we have some additional devices. So here in special case, the special case is when the plugging occurs. So when the plugging occurs at the induction motor, so here the positive sequence voltages driven by the active load changes the direction. The main special function of a motor in plugging is nothing but the reversing the voltage supply. Here is just the induction motor which is connected to the positive sequence of the voltage and which is driven by the active load in the reverse direction. So in the reverse direction also, the voltage that generated by the positive sequence voltages is connected with the supply, connected in the plugging action. So in that connection also, the active load changes the direction of the motor. So here the large rotor resistance. One more thing is the large rotor resistance is added extra into the circuit in order to have the negative slopes. So because of this extra adding the external resistances, what happens? A steady state stable condition will be occurred. A steady state stable condition. So because of this steady state stable condition, so here the slip that we are going to consider here will be having a external characteristics, that is 2 minus s. So this you people need to remember while I think while drawing the supply with the unbalanced supply. When we are drawing the characteristics for unbalanced supply, we derived one slip equation, that is slip is equals to 2 minus s, and even I told that it is important for your competitive exams also. So that will be considered in this reverse voltage braking in order to calculate the slip. So the increase the braking torque, so that we can observe using these characteristics, the braking torque. So the limiting braking current which we have used to start the value, to starting the motor, and this braking, so that limiting braking torque that we can observe in this characteristics. So here the torque is not 0 at 0 speed. The torque which is we are considering, it should not be 0 at 0 speed. So when we are going to stop the motor, so at that time the motor should be disconnected from the supply. So when we are going to remove the motor at the time of braking, so the main thing that we keep in your mind that the motor should be disconnected at 0 speed. So while rotating, if it is rotating at some speed, we should not interchange suddenly. We should not interchange the phase supply suddenly. So that's why we have to brake at 0 speed. At 0 speed is nothing but at constant speed. So which is nearer to 0 speed. Nearer 0 speed, at 0 speed, we have to apply the braking actions. So the braking. So here the braking which is suitable for, so this kind of reversing the braking, reversing the voltage supply or the plugging action. So these are the very suitable for the reversing the motors, reversing the supply of the motors also. So in order to reverse the direction and torque which is not 0 and at 0 supply and at 0 speed, so the motor should be smoothly decelerates, and accelerates in the reverse direction. So that you people can witness here. So it smoothly decelerates and smoothly accelerates. So at 0 speed, the torque is not 0. So at 0 speed, the torque is not at 0. I hope you people can observe in this graph. So at 0 speed, the torque is not 0. So from motoring actions, we need to change the rotation of the motor. We need to apply the brake. We need to bring the motor to 0 or nearest to 0 supply and reverse the direction. So when we are going to reverse the direction, at that time it should not 0. The torque is not 0 at 0 speed. So this is about the regenerative braking. Sorry, about the reverse voltage braking or plugging. So the next thing is dynamic or rheostatic braking. So here the dynamic or rheostatic braking. So this will be of about 3 types: AC dynamic braking, DC dynamic braking, and self braking. Dynamic braking or rheostatic braking. So when the motor is run on a single phase, when the motor is running on a single phase supply, so just by disconnecting the one phase, if it is if two phase motor, just remove the one phase and it should run on only one phase. And if it is a 3-phase motor, just remove the one phase and made the motor into rotating 2 phases, the remaining 2 phases. Then what happens for the remaining one phase? Again simple. ಎರಡು phase ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ one phase ನ remove ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, only one single phase connection ಇರಬೇಕು. Or else if it is 3 phase, ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, 3 phase ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ one phase remove ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, 2 phase ಅಲ್ಲಿ motor connect ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So the remaining one phase ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, leave it open or get shorted with the remaining 2 phases. So short ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲ remaining 2 phases ಗೆ connect ಮಾಡಬೇಕು or leave it open. So this action will be called as dynamic braking. So here what happens, the net torque produced by the machine is sum of the torques due to positive and negative sequence torque voltages. So by the net torque, the total torque that we are getting at the end is equals to the positive sequence voltages and negative sequence voltages torque. So when the rotor has a high resistance, whenever the rotor is having a high resistance, the net torque is negative. So here when the torque is positive and when the torque is negative. So that's the thing. So whenever the rotor is having a highest torque, highest resistance, high resistance, and at that time what happens, the torque is negative and braking action is obtained. So at the same time, whenever the rotor is having a low resistance, whenever the rotor is having the low resistance, the net torque will be positive. The net torque will be positive and there also we can't obtain the braking torque easily. So braking operation is not so easy. So for that reason, we are having the rotor which is having of high resistances. Okay, so you can observe here. So this is the motoring. This equation gives the motoring equation. So motoring equivalent circuit. So here all the three phases are connected to the stator, and the motor is running. So in the braking operation, that is in AC dynamic operation, what happens here? Two types: one 2-lead connection and another is 3-lead connection. So in the 2-lead connection, what happens? The one phase of the motor is removed. Here one phase of the motor is removed and it is kept like that, kept alone. So same thing in a 3-lead motors, 3-lead connection. Instead of just leaving as it is, we are shorting the one phase with the neighboring two phases. So with just shorting the neighboring phases. So that is meant by 3-lead connection. So this is the main difference between 2-lead connection and 3-lead connection. So first we are considering for the 2-lead connection. So in the 2-lead connection, what happens? Just assume a phase A. So here the stator will be connected in a star connection. So in the star connection, I am just removing the phase A. So if I am removing the phase A, then what happens? There will be no flow of current. Circuit close idre asthane supply flow agadu. So circuit open ide anta mele there will be no flow of current. So wherever, so just a basic common sense. So whenever the circuit closes, then only the current flows. So the first basic thing that we studied in our circuit. So the same thing. So IA is equals to 0 here. IA is equals to 0 and IB is equals to minus IC, or IC is equals to minus IB. Kirchhoff law. We have to satisfy the Kirchhoff law. That is Kirchhoff current law. You can take Kirchhoff current law. So at any node, the sum of current entering into the junction is equals to sum of current exit out of the junction, or summation of the currents at any junction, at any point, at any node is equals to 0. So that is the same thing that follow here. So IA is 0. So IC is equals to minus IB, or IB is equals to minus IC. Anyone you can take. So here the positive sequence we are going to consider for two sequences, positive sequence and negative sequence. So IP is a positive sequence and IN is the negative sequence. So IP is the positive sequence and IN is the negative sequence. So IP will be given by these are our fundamental components. So fundamental components, with the help of fundamental components, we are just drawing the positive current, positive phase sequence current. So IP is equals to 1 by 3 IA plus alpha IB plus alpha square IC. So as we know that alpha is equals to cos alpha plus at 120 degree, cos 120 degree plus J sin 120 degree, E of 120 degree. So it's the constant, fundamental component constant. So here just I am substituting IA is equals to 0 because phase A is removed here. So alpha IB minus alpha square IB. So just by normalizing IP is equals to JIB by root 3. JIB by root 3. If you just take alpha common, alpha equal to J120. Alpha is nothing but J120. So just take that, then it would be equal to IB by root 3. If you just remove the alpha, that is cos 120 plus J sin 120. So the thing will be finally IB by J root 3. And similarly for negative sequence current, same, IA plus alpha IB plus alpha square IB plus alpha IC. So this equation will be for negative phase sequence current. Negative phase sequence current, and here just by giving alpha value, alpha equal to J120. So just substitute here. So remove the IA value. because the phase is removed here. So no IA flowing. Alpha square IB plus alpha IC. Instead of using IC, I am just substituting IB. Conversion factor. So how to bring the different components into single component. So if IC, that would be equals to minus IB. Minus IB. So just take alpha IB common. So then alpha minus 1. So alpha minus 1, that would be equal to J 1 by root 3. So just by normalizing the equations, IN is equals to minus J IB by root 3. Cos 120 minus J sin 120. And here we are just adding positive sequence voltages and negative sequence voltages. So just by adding the positive sequence and negative sequence, we get net torque. So the net torque will be given by, so here the positive negative sequence components are equal and opposite. Why? Here you can see IC is equals to minus IB, equal and opposite. So VP minus VN. So we are just considering in terms of voltages now. So here we are considering current. So if you are going to consider for voltages, VP minus VN is equals to same alpha VA plus alpha Y, alpha VB plus alpha square VC minus same thing. So just after normalizing, after solving the equations, we got that alpha minus alpha square. So here VA will be equals to 0 as it is. There is no phase. Phase is removed there. So VA will be 0. So alpha minus alpha square. If you take that common, VB minus VC. And after solving, VB minus VC is equals to JVBC by root 3. So IP is equals to JIB by root 3. IN is equals to minus IB by root 3. And VB minus VN, that would be equals to JVBC by root 3. So if you apply JVBC by root 3 amount of supply, amount of voltage into the circuit, so that at that time what happens to the current? So that current will be equals to IP is equals to minus IN, because equal and opposite. So that would be JIB by root 3. So this would be the final equations. JIB by root 3, JVBC by root 3. So by using suitable choices of rotor resistances. So as we know that the rotor resistance is high. So in order to generate the braking torque, we have to use suitable rotor resistances. So which suitable rotor resistance leads to into the obtain of speed ranges. So with applying the negative torques, we can generate the negative speed. So here the required rotor resistance should be high. So whenever we are using high amount of rotor resistances, then only we can generate the enough voltage, enough current. We can supply the enough current and we can generate the enough voltage in order to brake the motor. So for that braking torque, so that the total braking torque, amount of torque that we required for braking would be calculated by summation of positive sequence and negative sequence components. So those positive sequence and negative sequence components are calculated above. So that is the supply, the positive sequence and negative sequence supply will be JVBC by root 3 and the required current will be IBC by root 3. If you supply that amount of voltage and with that amount of current, we can generate the torque. We can generate the torque that is enough to brake our motor. The motor which is having highest amount of rotor resistance. So this is about AC dynamic braking, and the equivalent circuit. The equivalent circuit is given here. This is the positive sequence and this is for negative sequence. We are just divided the rotor resistance into two parts. One is for positive and one is for negative sequence. So for the positive, this is the half of the thing, and the remaining thing is for negative. So this is for positive. So in the positive side, we are the speed will be, the slip will be S. But in the negative sequence, you remember the slip will be equals to 2 minus S. So in the positive sequence, the slip will be same. The equivalent slip will be same as that of a fundamental slip. But in the negative sequence, the equivalent slip or the synchronous speed, the slip that rotates at the synchronous speed will be equals to 2 minus s. So that will be written here. So this is the impedance, rotor impedance. So this is a resistance and the reactance. So the combined called, we can call it as impedance. So xr dash, rr dash by s, xr dash and rr dash by 2 minus s. So here the positive sequence current will be flowing and here negative slip will be flowing. So you people can observe the torque, speed torque characteristics. So this will be for positive sequence. So the speed torque will be positive for positive sequence. This will be characteristic like this, and for negative sequence this will be like this. So if you combine both positive sequence and negative sequence, the torque characteristic will be like this. So this would be our net torque. So at high speeds, what happens? The impedance of positive sequence components becomes very high at high speeds. So whenever the motor is rotating at high speed, so automatically the impedances, the positive sequence components impedances will be very high. And because of this positive sequence and negative sequence components, that current, the positive sequence and negative sequence current, which is should be equal and opposite. And here the net braking torque, is small, which is small. The net braking torque is very small, and also it's not enough to brake the motors. So that's why this is not successful. So we can use this kind of motors, this kind of braking system only for high speed rotating motors, in order to limit the speed, not to bring that to complete zero. So just to enough speed we can use AC dynamic braking system. So what that mean? We cannot bring the high speed motors into zero suddenly, but we can minimize the speed. We can speed na kadme ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So speed na kadme ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನಾದರೂ kadme ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ನಾವು applications ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, so like that applications we can use AC dynamic braking. So everywhere you can't use AC dynamic braking because the speed, the net braking that we generated here is small, and which is not enough to bring the motor from high speed to zero. So the AC dynamic braking, the main AC dynamic braking is like this, same. So just like two lead connection, so we studied the two lead connection, now same exactly three lead connection. So here in the three lead connection also, the voltage at phase A will be 0. The voltage at phase A will be 0, and voltage VBC and VCB, the VBC and VCA, which are equal and opposite. Similarly here we witness it for current. Here IB is equal and opposite to IC. Similarly here VBC is equal and opposite to VCA. So root 3 volts will be equal and opposite. So similarly here also the phase voltage, the VP and VN, positive sequence of voltage and negative sequence of voltage. Look at here, one thing is in you can take any connection, that is in two lead connection or three lead connection, we are just calculating the torque, the net torque. The net torque will be summation of positive sequence and negative sequence. So ನೀವು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ನೆಟ್ ಟಾರ್ಕ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. So there we calculated the positive sequence of current and negative sequence of current. Similarly, in a three phase supply, say 3-layer connection, we have to calculate positive sequence of voltage and negative sequence of voltage. Positive sequence of voltage and negative sequence of voltage. Finally the torque characteristic will be this one only, same thing. You just calculate positive sequence of voltage components, negative sequence of voltage components, and combine all those things. If you get the net torque, the net torque will be same, this one only, and here also same. This is not enough to bring the motor from high speed to 0 speed. So this would be about braking. So today we have studied plugging and regenerative braking. So normally in the high speed shafts, high speed rotating shafts, we can use reverse voltage braking or plugging, and the regenerative braking application will be traction. So this is enough for today. If another ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, if you need to ask anything, you can ask me.